Welcome back, everyone, to my Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster playthrough. This is episode 6 of it. I'm Generic, and let us get started. Alright, so we should be right outside Melmond, which we are. And now we're going to go, hopefully, and realistically, shouldn't be too much of a hassle, but we're going to go back through the Earth Cave and defeat the Fiend of the Earth. So, let's be on our way. Once again, starting off strong with Wargwolves. So, if everyone remembers, last time we went down to, I think, level 3 of the Earth Cave, where we got the Star Ruby. Now that we finally got the Rod of Earth from the Sage, we can continue on a little bit further. I think there's 2 more levels after this that we're going to be going through. So that should be pretty easy time. Our people are very strong. I know I still have a few more entries in the bestiary for this area to fill out, so I believe I will just make one quick circuit around in the hopes that one of them will show up. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time. For the most part, I want to focus on progressing the story a little bit more. And most enemies, most enemies do show up multiple places, and in this case, I won't lose access to them or anything, so it's not missable. I don't actually think any of the enemies in this game are missable. In the future games, you do start running into enemies and chests that you lose access to. So no luck. Alright, just save it real quick. Once again, you'll notice that I really like saving because I don't like replaying things again and again. It has happened several times in my past playing Final Fantasy games where I've lost hours of progress. Oh, excellent. Corrin and Hugh are both poisoned. Once again, luckily, we still have a whole bunch of antidotes just sitting in our inventory. Alright. Just going to run through kind of in a east-southeast direction. Not a lot of hit points going on for the poor black mage. Gargoyles. Not a huge deal. So I don't know why it caught my attention, but I just noticed that Greston has half as many hit points, well, less than half, as Celia the White Mage. He just has not been lucking out getting hit points. I feel like he's going to be lucky to get to like 500 hit points by the end of the game. Controls. Alright, go down the stairs. And we need to make our way to that door again. counters off is so much easier. Way, way easier. All right, just come out through this door, go up, and you'll see a slab. We'll use the Rod of Earth, and a staircase is revealed. All right, B4, turn encounters back on. That way we can get, I think that there's, 2 more enemies down here. And the final dungeon boss. All right. So 1, 2. All right, we're going to head up to that first room. Then we'll head down to the second room and then go downstairs. All right. Don't poison me. As you can tell, the fights are pretty trivial at this point. That 4 times multiplier has definitely made it so that I do not have to grind a lot. And even still, the levels of my characters are definitely a lot higher than I think they would normally be. All right, so there's chests in this room and the one down there. Oh, monsters. Hyenodon, Ogre Chief, and Ogre Mages. Oh, couldn't quite kill it in one hit. Yep, money. Ho, more monsters. Exact same. Oh, held. That can be the annoying part of the Ogre Mages. They do cast spells. Doesn't necessarily mean they're difficult. A regular staff. Alright, Sphinx. Level up, 32. Well, at least some people are getting hit points. Let's see what we've got left. Alright. So the Sphinx was the last creature we need. So at that point, should be able to turn off encounters if you want. Because 49 is the boss. Heal up just a bit. So you may notice this place is almost maze-like. The map definitely helps with getting around. as well as just kind of make sure you're heading in the right direction. Check for chests, all that. Sadly, encounters off doesn't help with the monsters in a box, but oh, you bats. But it's fine. It helps with the random encounters, and that is probably like 30% of this game. More Gil. Oh, what a surprise. It's like every chest has the same encounter in it. But that was our last chest in here. I think, actually, potentially in the entire dungeon. Once we go down a level, I'll go check. But I think. Obviously keep Hugh without any equipment whatsoever. Or at least any weapons. Eventually, we probably will equip Hugh with armor and stuff, specifically like when you get ribbons, because they protect against status effects. That's worth a drop in, at least to me. I think that's worth a drop in his defense for the sake of being better protected. Alright, so Cavern of the Earth, level 5. So right through that door, that's the boss. And cool, doesn't really look like there's much here. We've got 24 chests. So we can just go straight for the boss and restore our crystal. Alright, I think that should be good enough. Quick save it real quick. Who speaks to me? We do. We speak to you. I am he who feeds on the power of earth. I will not be disturbed by mortal men. I am the Lich, Fiend of Earth. Alright, so Lich, he is undead. So Dio works well on him. Fire works well on him. Fists and swords work well on him. Ugh. Well, no haste for Greston. Or I guess no haste for Hugh. Cast by Greston. Which is fine. Like, Lich is not... he's not very difficult. If you're lower level, he definitely can be. As you can see, he does like status effects. So it can be more of an annoying fight if you're lower level and don't have a lot of hit points, once he starts dealing damage, at that point, yes, it gets much more difficult. But I expect he will probably be dead as soon as people start waking up. Oh, perfect. So slow and haste kind of counteract one another. In this case, Lich had slowed Hugh, and instead of benefiting in a hasted fashion, when Greston cast haste on him, it just put him back to normal. Goodbye, Lich. You shall be missed. Level ups. Excellent. Level 33. All right. Way to go, Hugh. Finally got some hit points. All right. Let's restore the crystal. Both the big crystal and our tiny crystal. Looks much healthier, much brighter. And then we can... This is the altar of Earth, from which the power of Earth flows forth. Now we can just go through here. This is a quick teleporter out. All right. Not at this point. If you look at the crystal, you can see it's a little bit brighter. And now the world truly has opened up to us. Yeah. We did not luck out and get the dry ether, but that should be fine. So now we're going to go back. And big picture, we'll get on our boat and head over to the west, circle around the globe. Basically, we're going for that. If you look at the map, the far east coast, there's a little port there that we can hop off the ship at, and then make our way down to the next town. So, Crescent Lake. Finally, all those sages that we saw earlier will do something for us. I am Lucan. I see a cycle of wrath. Yep, same thing. 12 sages are we, guided to this land by the stars and prophecy. 4 great crystals exist in this world. The light that once shone within them is now lost. The 4 fiends of chaos block the power of the crystals, claiming it as their own. Fire, earth, water, and wind, these are the 4 forces that compose our world. The source of the 4 forces are the altars scattered throughout the world. Defeat the fiends that have taken root there and light up the crystals you carry at the altar. The crystals should regain their light. The 4 fiends plot to rule the world, both past and present. Ooh. The Fiend of Wind appeared 400 years ago, followed 200 years later by the Fiend of Water. Together they laid waste to the civilization to the north. The Fiend of Earth rots the land. Where the Fiend of Fire passes, all is engulfed in flame. Ooh, she would be the next one. When all 4 crystals shine once more, return here. All will be revealed. Bring the light of the 4 crystals to us, warriors of light. Only you can do this. The volcano at Mount Gulg rises to the west of this town. The Fiend of Fire long slept within its passages, but she has awoken 200 years before her time. Vanquish her before the world is consumed in flame. Alright, this is the guy we want. Well done, warriors of light. You have defeated the Fiend of Earth and restored the crystal's light. Sadly, this has drawn the notice of the Fiend of Fire, who was not to have stirred for another 200 years. Take this canoe and go face the Fiend in Mount Gulg. You obtain a canoe. Alright, so at this point, our next destination would be using the canoe to get to Mount Gulg. This is where I completely go my own way and kind of break from the chain of what you're supposed to do, and I kind of just have fun. So you can see in the shallow waters, rivers, you can just walk into it, get on the canoe. That does allow you now to also dock at rivers. You can basically just take your boat up to a river mouth and you'll hop on the canoe from there. So you're no longer restricted just to ports. Rivers do have their own monsters, so you definitely want to get those if you're aiming for 100%. They are quite a bit stronger than what we have been fighting for the most part. Like those white crocodiles can do a lot of damage. Let's see. White crocodile, the Neochu. I don't think the Ochus are very strong. But anyway, if we stayed in the river there, that would take us to Mount Gulg. Instead, like I said, I enjoy going my own route. So we're going to go up here to this river mouth. Hop up there. We've got to come up and around. Neochu. I wouldn't stress too much about clearing out the all the enemies in the river immediately. There's plenty of time that you can be in rivers, and all the rivers have the same enemies, so you don't have to worry about, oh, I have to get the river in this area and then go to a different continent and clear out the rivers. It's all the same. Alright, so up and around, and here's a cave. This is the Ice Cave, Cave of Ice, one of the two. And this is not necessarily the next destination, but it's our next destination. Make sure to save it real quick. So in here, we're going to encounter lots of ice-based creatures. Some will have area effect attacks that hit everyone. So with that in mind, you don't want to let your hit points get too low. For the most part, this place is pretty linear. There's a couple places where the path kind of diverges, but your goal is, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. The only thing is make sure you don't accidentally leave, and I'll cover that when we get there. But don't accidentally leave before you get the float stone. So that's blocked off. We're just going to come down the stairs. This will be a big rectangle in the middle. So either path you can take. I don't think there's any difference. Always with the undead. I feel like this game more than any other, there's a lot of undead creatures, which once again makes having a white mage who knows any of the Dia spells quite useful. Just it is a trade-off between your healing spells and your Dia spells, because as you notice, pretty much every time you get a cure spell, there's also a Dia spell that same level. So kind of have to manage your spells a little bit. Later on, that will be less of an issue. There are items that will let you cast spells if they're used in battle. So that is quite handy. And I think actually we'll get some of them, not here, but in the near future. Like I said earlier, make sure your hit points don't get too low. Especially the winter wolves. A large pack of 9 of those. If most of them use Ice Storm, it can severely deplete your hit points very quickly. Have the power of fire. Alright, so in here you can see these cracked floor tiles. Those will drop you down a level. You will want to go down there, but first make sure you get these 2 chests. You don't want to have to wander this place forever trying to get the chests. Even being able to turn encounters off. I think there's some respawning encounters, and also there's damaging floor tiles in here. So one time through is it's at least my limit. I have definitely made mistakes in the past as far as dropping too soon because I wasn't paying attention, or accidentally leaving. I'll make sure to point that out when we get to it. But I went the wrong way and ended up leaving entirely and had to come through it all over again. So at this point, Dark Wizards can be somewhat obnoxious. Um, so that's why I use Thundaga. I just want to kill them. All that for regular clothes. Corn and Hughes should be able to take him out just fine. Excellent. Alright, come around, get this chest. Flame Sword. It's a good weapon. So when you go to it, sword imbued with the power of fire. So specifically in here, where you're attacking a lot of cold-based creatures, it will do extra damage. So just fall down the hole. You can pick any hole. At this point, they will all lead right back here. Quick save it. I'm trying to remember what this creature is. I think it's dragons. Nope, undead. I was way off. Probably do the Dia combo again. Dia is also nice in the fact that it does good damage even at the low level. So if you look, my white mage will still do like 100 plus damage to these undead, even with a first level spell. Probably, I guess, should have used fire also. So the specters are a little bit tougher. Clearly, one Dia is not enough. Keep that in mind. All right, so you see these dark blue spiky areas. Those will do damage. There are chests in each of the 2 rooms, so have to go in each one of those. But so it's not a lot of damage. It should be just 1 hit point per step. Also, you do have the white dragons. You do have the I guess benefit of while you're on the damaging floor tiles that you will not get attacked. So I guess that's a trade-off depending on what you're fighting in here. White dragons do have an AoE attack that is stronger than the winter wolves. I think it does roughly like 80 to 100 damage to everyone. So they are the main concern. That and large packs of winter wolves, but they are the main concern of keeping your hit points a little bit higher. So ice armor will reduce the damage you get from fire. Not much is going to be using fire against me at this point, but it's also still just better armor. Mithril gloves. Come down to this other room. Gill. Monsters. Alright, so Winter Wolves. Greston should be fine unless potentially all of them use their AoE and go first. But just in case, I am going to use Hilara. So Ice Storm. So 25, 30 points of damage. Not bad by itself, but if they do all go first, it can do. Like that was 7 of them, so you figure about 200 or so damage. Probably should have healed up, but it's all right. Viraga will make my troubles go away. That's probably overkill for them, but I don't really want to prolong the battle into multiple rounds. Alright, so Ice Shield. It also guards against fire. That can be very good, even if you don't want to follow the path that I do. Coming in here can be really nice just to get the Ice Shield and the Ice Armor. That way you can take a lot less damage when you go to Mount Gulg. It's not really going to be an issue for me in this playthrough, but it can be nice. Oh, alright, so we still have a couple more creatures that we don't have yet. 66, 67, and 70. So up through 67 is all the Mount Gulg still. 70 is Mind Flayer, which is here, as well as other places. 73 is Remoraz, which is here. And then 75 you can't miss. As long as you actually get the float stone, you can't miss it. So we've got 3 more places, or 3 more enemies to get in here. But if we don't, you can encounter them elsewhere, except for the evil eye. So we'll move up to Diara for these. Hopefully that'll kill them in one hit. There we go. Oh, let's see. So ethers are new. They were not in the original game. Pretty much as soon as you ran out of spells, unless you went to an inn and rested, or used a tent or a cabin, you were pretty much done for magic. Having the ability to just use ethers, it's a very nice quality of improvement, or a quality of life improvement. Close to a level. Anyway, come up the stairs. We'll go up through here, get chests. Excellent, an ether. come out through the door, get that chest in the room just below us. Excellent. Level 37. So much higher level than normal. Alright, so there are 3 chests in that room. Also, you can kind of see that broken area on the floor. That's where we need to go. Do not go up those stairs. That will take you immediately outside, and you will have to come all the way through here again. So where we want to go is that broken area of the floor. I do speak from personal experience. Several times, specifically when it's been a while since I played the game. I end up getting focused and going up the stairs and going outside. I do have the amazing habit, it feels like, of being able to always go in the wrong direction. And when I say wrong direction, I actually mean the right direction. But for me, who is trying to explore and get chests and get everything, I go right for the exit or the boss or whatever. So it's the right direction, but also the wrong direction. All right. So make sure you get all 3 chests before you step on that tile. And now we're going to fall inside the middle of those. Do not fall through any of the broken tiles until you get that float stone. Also, be aware there's a fight as soon as you try and get the float stone, so be prepared for it. Let's walk carefully up, get the float stone, and get in a fight with the evil eye. It does like, or at least in the original version, it did like to use instant death spells. So if you can go first, or better yet, even if you luck out with a preemptive attack, kill it quickly. You obtain a levistone. I think floatstone is what it was called in the original Nintendo. Now, at this point, you can fall down any of the holes. Doesn't matter. You still end up there. You've got all the undead to contend with in front of you. Excellent. Everything's going to die. So I still have those 2 monsters. So one of the things that I have realized is it is very difficult to play and talk and stay focused on both. I don't tend to say a lot of things anyway, so trying to narrate myself through a video game is a new experience for me. But I feel that me just being silent is probably not the most entertaining. Or maybe turn the volume down because you don't like hearing my voice. It depends on you. Come on, Greston. Sweet level ups. Alright, come back up the stairs, come out of this room. Now you can go up the stairs and exit. Oh, so close. Yeah, 3 blood bones. Not a huge deal. Alright. Just come up these steps. You'll get put outside the cave. And this is where we're going to stop the episode. So let me save it. Hope everyone enjoyed our trip through the Cave of Ice. We will start back here and continue to work towards getting our class change next. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.